Jesus Christ Almighty! What the fuck is that?
What's what? Uh-oh.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I'm back, Jack. For a minute there, I went into like a fucking,
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was good.
How many handfuls did you eat tonight?
No handfuls.
Nothing. Okay.
You've been break for like 2 weeks now. I'm off the shrooms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I'm waiting for you to get back, baby boy.
I'm here right now.
All right. Well, you don't want me to show up tonight to the fourth floor with what I got. Because you won't make it out till the end of Rosh Hashanah. You know what I'm saying?
No fucking. Can you imagine going? Like, I know you've probably never been to temple, but going to temple on mushrooms seems like a nightmare.
What can you imagine? Just go down there. Go down there. What do you say? I like it up. Whatever the fuck you say. Happy New Year.
Lashana Tova.
Yeah, no. Lashana Tova. You go in there and say. You sit there, you fucking dog. One of the best times I have is when I go to church stoned. I've never taken edibles because I never had the time, to warm up. Church is something that pops into my mind. I got to go to church today.
What do you mean warm up? Edibles are like 3 bites. What do you mean? Not even. You usually eat it just like a pill.
You need like an hour. You need like an hour warm up. So
okay.
I usually go Sundays at 7 a.m. Who's going to get up at 6 and pop an edible?
You've done it.
That's great. This on a Sunday, that ruins your whole day. I got shit to do, people to respond to. I got to answer to people. So, but I do like 5 bong hits. And by the time I get to church, you walk in there, you're nice and settled. You don't even focus on what he's saying. It would be sad because I'd focus on the 12 stations of the cross and I get caught up and feel sentimental.
But because even a Catholic, like the biggest problem I would have at temple is like they make you stand up, but at like a Catholic mass they make you kneel. Like I can't imagine kneeling on.
Take a fucking walk, go in your pocket, give the guy $5, and it's a fucking little workout. I'm gonna invent that, the church workout. Up, down, guy 5, shake this guy's hand, up, down.
Does it piss you off? Because it pisses me off at temple.
Nah, listen, I'm used to it. I've been doing it since I was, up, down, up, down, It's a fucking nightmare. But you know what, man? I still enjoy it. I don't want to do it every week. I don't want to volunteer. I don't want to pass the basket around. I just want to go down there, sit in church, think about my life, look around the 12 stations of the cross, and get the fuck out of there. Like, I'm not big on hanging. And the church today has changed. Like, especially in my area here, it's Gentile Catholic Church. There's really no feeling. God forbid there's not a fucking priest from another country, a third world nation that you can't understand that way. I'm sitting there fucking, what's he saying?
Isn't he speaking Latin anyways?
No, they speak, English or whatever, but you get these guys from they get them right off the fucking boat. And now I gotta be their guinea pig to how to learn English and shit. I'm sitting there in the back like fucking, and then it's just not, I don't know, God forbid you don't have a gay singer in the church.
Yeah.
God forbid you don't have, it's like diversity hit the church,
Oh, it bums me out about temple.
Yeah, I just want a regular.
They play guitar. I don't like it.
Yeah, the guitar, that's too early for me. If I want to hear guitar, Led Zeppelin. All right, Tico, here, take $10 and go to get a bagel. I don't want to hear the fucking guitar at 8 a.m. I don't really want to hear no singing. I don't mind the little hymns they sing, in between. You're not going to come at me with a full force fucking band at 9 a.m. and make me get up, because the first time I hear the tambourine, I'm done. I'm done. There's 2 things I'm always done. If I see a tambourine or if I see a flute, like I'm done. Like when I went to see Jethro Tull in like 1980, once the flute came out, me and my friends are like, "This don't need to sit here no more." You know what I'm saying?
You just left?
Yeah, I always used to leave. I still leave. You know me.
Have you ever left church? Like, have you ever like walked out of service?
No, but I'll tell you the worst thing I ever did. because
What's that?
I never mentioned this in church. I never mentioned this on the church. When my daughter, not Mercy, when my oldest got baptized, we knew that my in-laws knew the church well, and they knew the priest well. And the priest was a cool motherfucker. Like he just knew that I was out of my mind. And he worked with it. He was very nice. He'd work with it. And this had to be 1990.
Okay.
So this is 34 years. Now, I'm fucking crazy now. Could you imagine 1990, fresh out of jail? People think a kid's going to change me in a marriage, and I'm still fucking rough around the edges. And I'll never forget the woman I married, her brother was just as out there as I was. He wasn't a criminal. He was a smart guy, but he went to work, and that's the only thing he did right, and we got along. We hit it off. This is a guy who had a bong in his car and who always bought weed by the quarter pound. So I was a fan of that motherfucker right off the bat. And we were at the church. We're getting ready to baptize my daughter. Everybody's fucking there. And he goes, "Hey, man, I got to join us some fucking heavy-duty weed." And I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Come on, follow me. I know this church." Because I knew it, but not as well as he did. And we went downstairs in like a lobby and just sparked up a fucking joint. Me and him right downstairs, no ventilation, no nothing. We walked back upstairs. I was happy for like 2 minutes. Then I felt like a fucking idiot. First of all, I got really fucking high. And then after we were hanging out, everybody was saying it smells like weed. And the steam that was coming out of my wife's ears, you couldn't even fucking, it was just too much. It was just too fucking much. That's the worst thing I've ever done. Like, as far as I'm concerned, kidnapping, mugging somebody, that's nothing in my world compared to smoking in the church. And I still think about it. And I'm still like, what the fuck was I thinking? What
is that
the
something like
fuck
you? Did you like ask for forgiveness for it?
I asked forgiveness for everything. That was one of the many things I asked for.
That's a cool part about Catholic, like that you can just ask for forgiveness, even if you work on it, you're forgiven. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but it just don't work like that. It just don't work like, you know what? I'm going to forgive God's going to forgive me. I'm going to go out and hit somebody else in the head. Honest to God,
Right.
what it means is that you have to forgive yourself. If you look into those words, you have to forgive yourself first. And once you forgive yourself, then it's kind of easy for anybody else to forgive you. But I held myself, I always punish myself.
Really?
Like, yeah, you have to have personal punishments. Like, you're not going to have that anymore. Like my Boulder thing. Like, I'm really ashamed of how I acted in Colorado. And I go to Denver and I do the shows and shit, but I won't trickle to Boulder or any of those places just because I'm kind of ashamed,
I get that, but it was so long ago. You don't feel like you've made amends for it?
Yes and no. I could have done that any place in the world except in God's country. I did it right there in God's country. And it was God's country. It was like putting a professional in a fucking high school basketball game.
Right.
But you know what? I've learned to live with it. I've forgiven myself to the extent that I could. Now I hope that someday Boulder forgives me. You know what I'm saying?
I
but
think
besides
Boulder's
that,
forgiving you.
Are you
I had
happy
a
to be
great
back?
weekend.
I know you did. Connecticut
was great. I had a fun, I've never had it wasn't even a heckle. It was just like this older lady was just drunk and was like talking to me. But I told you on the phone, I was just like, I don't know if proud of myself is the right word, or just like I was happy with like how I handled it. Because in the past I would have like either crumbled or like just tried to power through it and still do the jokes, and that wouldn't have worked. And she got so drunk, dude. And I was gonna ask you about this. She fell out of her chair. Like I've never had she crashed out of her chair and was still talking shit from the floor. It was one of the funniest things that I've ever experienced. Cause I've never, like, she was talking, I'm okay. And she was like, dude, that show was wild. That show, while she was talking shit, there was like a 65, 70-year-old couple in the back. And I want to ask you about this, just like basically having sex. They were like making out and he was sitting behind her. If they weren't making out, he was giving her a massage. Like I've never seen that in a comedy show before. And it was like a 70-year-old couple.
You know, man, it's funny you say that because this morning I went on Facebook. I posted like some shit in a video. And I know, like, you know, you don't look at stuff that has nothing to do with you, really.
Mm-hmm.
But for weeks, like for 2 weeks, I've been seeing these old women with bikinis on. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? They're not old women. They're like 50, but they look good. You know, they look, 55, maybe 60. And today, for the first time, I go, what the fuck is this? And it was like, why is a girl in a bikini telling me I got to read books? That's what she was like. That whole Facebook post is about reading fucking books. That you should read 2 books a week. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, are you fucking crazy, lady? You're 60 years old. Why are you in a bikini? That's, I don't know. That had nothing to do with your story. Number 2, the oddest thing I heard the last couple of years or during the pandemic was that venereal diseases were up in old folks' homes.
Yeah. Dude, have you heard about the Villages, I think it's called, in
They
Florida?
were fucking. No, I got to be honest. No.
Oh, dude, there's, and Joe, if you can find something quickly to pull it up, there's a place called the Villages in Florida. It's a retirement community, and it has like, I don't know if it's like the most, but they're well known for having like a huge amount of STDs, and they have something because they drive around in golf carts, is that they have different color loofahs for what kind of like sex stuff they want to do. It's like the STD capital of America, and this is an old folks home. It's well known that that's all they go there to fuck. Like they go there. And Joe, I don't know if you can scroll down if they have anything about the loofahs, but the loofahs is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. It's like they break it down by color. Like you're single, you want people to watch, you want people to. I don't know, they might not have it on this one, but I've heard that for a while that old folks homers are crazy.
I'll tell you, I'm one of those guys that since I'm a kid, like I have a brother and him and I have been saying the same thing. We've been saying the same thing since we were fucking 10 years old. Look at this shit.
Yeah, loofah code at Florida. Can you scroll and see what it is? Yeah.
Oh, I guarantee those people doing drugs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go.
Guarantee those people.
Can you zoom in further, Joe? Because it just has all the colors right there.
I couldn't. Give me one second. I'll find it.
But yeah, so what have you and your brother been saying?
When we were kids, every time like a lady walked by with like a weird looking ass, we'd always go, can you imagine what her ass smells like? I mean, we've been saying this to each other. I just saw him in Delaware, 60 years old. We still saw some lady with sandals on, the weird looking ass. And he looked at me out of the corners of his eyes like, can you imagine what her ass smells like? And then you see, like, you ever go to I don't want to talk about this negatively, but if you look at your parents, say your dad's mild-mannered, your mom's got the fucking house dress on with her hair up in curlers. She ain't looking for no dick, and he ain't looking for no ass. You know what I'm saying? He's home at 5:01. He's on the chair. He don't really listen to your mom. He passes out at 7 after dinner. But you look at them from time to time, and you're like, do you think mom and dad are still? You're like, nah.
Thankfully, my parents aren't together, but I had thought about that. But it's creepy to think about. It's the worst.
But when I was a kid, I'd go to people's houses to eat dinner and shit. I look at the parents. And I'd always play a game in my head. Do you think he's still fucking her? Oh. And I'm like, I don't know. I just don't know. But
did you ever tell your friends you were thinking about that? They must have hated that game.
No. I never told anybody about that game. Do you think he's fucking her? It's like when you see, listen, love is weird, but number one, you told me about it on the phone. And you didn't say that they were basically having like light sex. You were saying they were making out.
Right.
I'm 61 years old. I got a chipped tooth. I got, I don't want to make out with nobody at this age.
No.
Like I'll make out with my wife from time to time. And I don't even want to do that no more. Like I'm past that fucking stage. Now we're just getting the fucking. You want to make out? I don't know. Like, it's just so, it's so weird. I'm making out with some 70-year-old lady and she loses a tooth. I'm done. I spit it out. I'm going home. I'm not even dropping her off. I don't care how she gets. I'll drop her off in Florida at that fucking Wonderland fucking condom factory down there where they get crabs and shit. But now I'm 61 and I can be honest with everybody here. I get sexual, I get horned up like everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Do I get horned up for outside monkey? No, because I know I can't do nothing with it. There's nothing I'm going to do. It's just going to be an embarrassment situation for me. Embarrassing.
What do you think would happen? Like you just it was not going to work the same.
I either get a heart attack.
No, is that what you're worried about?
I'm worried about a lot of things. Just 10,000 things. First of all, I'm married, but what if I'd have a heart? I wouldn't even know where to start. I wouldn't even know what to talk to them about. Listen, man, ever since I stopped doing drugs, I've lost that angle of my life.
Mm-hmm.
That angle disappeared. Like that, getting in the mood and fucking banging one out in the bathroom. Those days are long gone. I'm going on 17 years. I haven't been fucking, the blow makes you crazy, and it just, but now it's like, if I do it, it's okay. It ain't like, how it used to be when I was crazy and I had big eyes and my dick was hard and I'd be walking around with a bottle of whiskey. Yeah. Those
I would love to see you say that to a woman. Yeah. Like, obviously I'm not talking about your wife, but like, do your fantasies change when you get older, do you think?
I have no fantasies.
Nothing?
Because you have a fantasy of things that you could do. There ain't much more I could do no more. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you have a fantasy, like I'm going to score 70 points in a game. I'm going to, work 52 weeks in a year. But you got it. I know I don't got it. Like, you have to come to terms with yourself. Unless I shoot a bunch of Viagra, unless I take some BlueChew, like have it on me all day long, look at pornographic materials, put a feather in my pants or like a rock in my shoe. That makes it horned up. The Chinese put a rock in their shoe or whatever they do. I don't know. But that ship sailed of those days like that. I don't, sometimes I watch like a movie and they have like a sex scene and I get embarrassed now.
Oh, I get embarrassed. I get embarrassed.
Embarrassed.
And then it's also like, it's crazy. Like, I know you never really did online dating, which I think would be hysterical to see you try to online date. But it's like, they're like, people like they get sexual very quickly now. Like they people, women tell me that like guys will just send them messages that are like, oh, what I would do to your tits. Like all the, like they just open up with craziness. And I don't have any idea how they would do that.
When I was young, crazy, and on the road, yeah, you got to tell somebody, you got to sell, you're trying to sell your game, Jack. You're not going to sell it by telling them, I went to Harvard and I have a bow. Everybody went to Harvard and got a bow, bitch. You got to tell them, listen, I got a 10-foot dick and I can choke myself with it.
And then I guess it'll work with somebody. I don't get that many men.
You need to walk away, right? Like if a girl walked up to you and said, I could orgasm and it comes out of my ears, you either have another drink and go, let's get out of here. Or you go, you have another drink, you pick up your drink and you move 10 down. At least you know where you stand.
Yeah. Oh, and that's the hardest part is knowing where you stand in any of this shit. But it's
one of my dear friends growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about early on, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Good looking dude. Just wouldn't say much. I mean, women would crawl to him and he wouldn't, his conversations would be awkward.
Mm-hmm.
But when he did meet some. I remember being down the shore with him one time, like on the beach, and him picking up a girl and taking her to the fucking boardwalk and whatever the fuck they did. And he came back and I go, what is he doing? How does he do this? Does he sing him a love letter?
That's one of
What
the
does he do?
scariest things. I've never hit on a woman in the wild. Like I've never.
Beach. Look, this guy was a professional like this. But I noticed he only hit on women when he was drinking.
Yeah.
Because he was loose. And when he did coke, forget it. And he mixed those two, he would be on fire, but he'd take it to the next level. He'd go up to women and go, what are you doing with this fuck guy? And he'd take out a coke rock. Oh, you coke your pussy out with a coke rock. And at first I looked at it and I was like, that is just crazy. Then I tried it.
Jesus Christ. And then and it worked. Like, did you get more confidence with coke and drinking?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. When I was snorting coke and drinking, my sexual game was, and listen, I've been with my wife for 24 years. So,
right.
Yeah, it's our 15th wedding anniversary. And we've been together 24 years and 25 years in July.
That's awesome. 25 years.
So it is what it is, but you learn about yourself as you get older. And, it's really weird that I thought by now I'd have complete ED and I'd have to get like an Indian guy with a flute to play it and somebody to light my heels on fire to get a hard on. I have to eat like a fish. No, it's amazing sometimes. I wake up in the middle of the night, I got a baseball bat. I'm like Aaron Judge. I got to pee out of that motherfucker. I got to hang it on the sink a few times, but I'm like, there ain't nobody around. What good is it? There just ain't nobody around when you got the Aaron Judge bat. Let's get this party started, dog. Greetings from Podcastville. It's Tuesday, the 8th of October. The check-in is brought to you by my favorite, BlueChew. Listen, fall is here. Flowers in the air. You're about to be spending a lot more time indoors. You better make sure that little staminki is working. BlueChew is here to make sure that you have a great time. BlueChew sends ED medication right to your door. Nobody knows nothing. BlueChew has the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost. So it's a no-brainer. The best part is it's all done online. No driving to the doctor's office to talk about your junk. No waiting in line forever at the pharmacy. Sign up at BlueChew.com for starters. You're going to talk to one of their medical providers, and if you're approved, you'll get a prescription within days. Listen to me. Nobody knows nothing. Not even the mailman. He thinks he's delivering like a wedding invitation. He don't know nothing. Not even grandma will know. So do yourself a favor. It works. You keep like 2 of them around, local, put one in your sock, one in your wallet, and boof, all of a sudden, when you see love and you put your cape on, you could walk over with confidence. BlueChew wants you to have confidence to perform at your best. So discover your options at BlueChew.com. We got a special deal for the check-in listeners. You ready for this? You're going to get BlueChew for free when you use code Diaz, D-I-A-Z at checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's it. BlueChew.com, promo code Diaz to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details. And thank BlueChew for sponsoring the check-in. Turn off your TVs, run for your lives. It's over. They didn't put you on this planet just to give up. If Uncle Joey could do it, I can rule the world. That's what you got to be thinking. Welcome back to Check! Oh, hey. Shit. 10, 8, 24. Nice combination, all 2s. So if you're going to play the number today, who the fuck you think you're dealing with? Joey Bananas? I live for these type of days. I'm hitting the jackpot today, Jack.
10, 8, 24. What about 10, 10? Is that better?
10, 10, 24, 25, 24. Yeah, I shot. One of the worst pieces of work I ever put out there was 10, 10, 2010.
Oh,
right.
no.
Do you remember that, or you weren't around for that? No.
No, that was right before I met you.
I was pretty much out of comedy.
Okay.
I was just doing it, skipping jive type comedy. And I do a podcast and I talk about mugging a hooker. And the next thing I know, fucking all hell breaks loose. People coming to see me. And after about a month, he's like, listen, let's put something together. Let's do 10, 10, 10. It's a good date. So we did it at
Sal's, I think.
Who? Sal, when it was on Brea. And I'll never forget how bad I felt after that show. Like I was a really bad stand-up at that time. Not as bad as now, but just something was not working. And I started rocking and rolling, but I really wasn't prepared. And I told you, I went to Columbus, I ate a bag of dicks, and I didn't go back for like 16 months. And that scared the shit out of me. I always thought it was because I bombed. They closed it down to fix it or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I did a horrible job that night. Like just, I think when your wife says something to you, you're not
no.
No, we spoke about it that night. And she's like, you weren't Comedy Store, she said to me. And I'm like, you're right. And there's nothing I could do. I didn't go back to the store till maybe 4 years later.
Oh, yeah. No, and it's like it kind of reminded me like what happened this weekend. Like, you maybe, I don't know what was going on in September or August of that year, but maybe do you think you weren't working as hard at it? You said you were almost out of comedy.
I don't know what I was doing, Lee. Who the fuck knows what I was clean.
Mm-hmm.
I was clean. I was living in the valley. I was living on the street of death where I met Gray. And I just wasn't getting on stage like I was. I was used to getting on stage 30 times a month.
Mm-hmm.
9 times, 6 at the Ha-Ha, and a week in the month with Joe. So my game wasn't really tight, and I remember feeling bad about it and hitting the notebook and, trying to really learn how to headline. And then I started going to the Irvine Improv.
Right.
That's where I got to learn how to headline. And not at the store because you're doing 15-minute sets.
Right.
You can go to the store. This was the bad thing about the store consumer. That you might go to the store and see that dude's best 15 minutes. Then when he comes to your hometown, he shows up with an hour. And the last 30 minutes, you want to put a bullet in your head. You're like, well, I saw him at the store because they're only doing 15 minutes. The store is great for a lot of things, but it's not great for longevity.
I don't know.
What you're doing is perfect.
Like, I'm sorry, I froze a little second. I don't think people understand. Like going from like 15 or 20 to 45 an hour is a big jump. So to only do 15 at the store,
it's a big jump when you look at it, and it's a big jump when you're watching it. But it's so weird how comics will add 5 minutes of junk to have that time. And it's so hurtful for you. I'd rather you say you're a feature and stretch.
Right.
They always want you to do 20 as a feature now. When I was a feature, they wanted you to do 30. So I would just do 35, 37. The headliner was going to do 2 hours. You don't give a fuck about my extra if I run the light by 10. I'd ask him, do you mind if I do an extra 5? I'm trying something out. Yeah. I'm back here fucking, in Miami, they don't give a fuck what you do. They're back there looking at girls. Some places they're small. You're in the green room. You're dying to get on stage. I understand. So that was the differences. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, that they really don't know. When you go to the Comedy Store, you see somebody's best 18 minutes. And you could do 18 minutes and you could start with another 20 and another 20. For me, it worked better when I was stretching. When somebody hires you in a bar and you take $100 less and go, can I do an hour? And you just battle through it. It doesn't matter. Those people are drunk. They're not going to like you one way or the other. They're not going to remember you one way or the other. And there's like if you're in a bar show, you know what I'm saying? But then there's clubs that you could, The Ice House. I never went up there with material.
That is mind blowing to me.
You were there with me.
I know.
Those little Saturday night things, I'd have 3 things on a piece of paper and we'd do an hour because I was used to it. If I do that now, you're going to throw tomatoes at me after 20. Ooh.
Well, you would definitely, you would figure it out. But like, I was thinking about, because you said something on the phone that like kind of, you said like, I bet you're going to do like 20 weeks this year. And I went and looked. I went back on my calendar. If I don't add anything, and I have a couple weeks available, if I don't add anything, I'm going to do 32 weeks like on the road, like not even like local shows, like 32. And I was like, wow, that's fucking cool. Like that's more than I want. Like my goal was to hit 20 this year. And I did.
That's very impressive.
Oh, I'm so happy.
That's how you, and well, people, you know, oh, well, you're not working improv, bitch. I'm working Harry's Bar and Grill. They give me 4 shows.
Mm-hmm.
They give me a cheeseburger before every show. There's no judgment. I could try a new fucking 15 minutes a night. There's no agents there, you know. Dog, this is what I told you. I hit on the triple runs. I hit on the fucking Michigan runs. I hit on the Oklahoma, the Wyoming runs. I fucking hid perfectly, you know. I hid purposely.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, purposely.
But it was perfect.
What's that?
It was perfect. It was a good idea.
It's perfect. The problem is people don't have the patience. Now you started in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bigger market. I started in Denver. You started in Boston. That's a way far. So my market was different. Like every once in a while, Wyoming comes to my mind. Like I did fucking comedy in Wyoming in a fucking barn, and there'd be 400 people there.
Yeah, they're my favorite.
Right. With hay on the side and chairs, and they were selling beers, and they would raffle shit for the church. This is a community comedy show, and I go up there and be a little raunchy from time to time, and they took the ride with me. I wasn't looking to be Robin Williams. I was just looking to do time, and in a place wouldn't fucking come back to haunt me.
Yeah. And even more like it wouldn't come back to haunt you. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you bomb for an hour, they're not going to be happy about it. But like those shows in barns or like in the middle of nowhere, they're just so happy to be there. Like I love those shows.
I remember doing a show towards the Canadian border.
Okay.
In Wisconsin. I gotta tell you something, Lee. The last half hour before the gig, like we were supposed to be there at 8, and it must have been about 5:30. And we ate something, and it said, you know, just in those days there wasn't no miles to your gig. There wasn't no waves, you know. And I'll never forget, like miscalculating. And the last 45 minutes before this town, there was nothing. In fact, there was nothing. That there was fake deer. They put like plastic deer up to make it look like there was a civilization out there. There was nothing, Lee. When we got to the hotel, it was like a fucking party in that town. You thought you went to Studio 54. They thought we were celebrity. What movies have you been in? None. No. We saw you in a movie. Like, oh, fuck. You know? But I don't know. I enjoyed those as much as I enjoyed doing spots at the store. And I still think about those sets.
Oh, yeah? Well,
I still think about those sets from 90. The feeling. Because you weren't playing for money. You were playing to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
2 big differences. When you're playing for money and when you're playing to be funny, it's 2 big differences. So it's kind of fun because you don't give a fuck. You're just looking to go to a show to see some woman fall out of her chair and fucking puke, and then the couple in the back are swapping spit. I still can't get over they were fucking. He was as creepy as can be giving her a massage.
Oh, dude, I'm not a comic. Like I almost never like call anybody out. Like I've made that mistake a couple of times. Like if someone was asleep, and people don't usually find it funny. So like I didn't call him out, but then he didn't heckle, but he talked right after the woman fell out of the chair. Like they were going crazy, and he asked me a question, just like asked me like a question about one of my jokes. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And I was like, I wasn't gonna bring this up, but you guys have basically been fucking the whole show. And like the crowd went nuts. And then I was worried he was gonna be upset. He said, you should see what's happening underneath the table. And like they were going nuts. It was so fun. But it's dude, and that show, both shows, Friday and Saturday, a lot of people came out Saturday, which was awesome. But like that show was like as crazy as it was. Like I did 15 minutes on nothing, just on what was happening in front of me, and just like there was so much energy. And I'm not encouraging people to heckle at all. It doesn't help the show at all. But in those like when I'm in the side room of a restaurant, like it's not gonna be the Irvine Improv.
No, it's not. And you have to go up there thinking like that. It's like when I go to girls softball games and they got a ref with a missing foot and the other guy's, got his hat on sideways and he's blowing a whistle. One of those things that you blow with the spin, the fan going around.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They get mad because he missed the call. I'm like, guys, look at these guys. These aren't major league umpires here.
Right.
We're just here good fucking time. You know what I'm saying? Kids don't get hurt. We're just having a good time,
They're making $20 a game.
I could tell Friday night, altogether now, how long have you been doing comedy? 8 years?
It'll be 7 in November.
Okay. Starting now, you're going to get breakthroughs. And anybody who's doing comedy in the 5th, 6th, 7th year, maybe you're advanced as Lee, maybe you're not as far along as Lee, maybe whatever. Remember one thing, you're going to have good nights and bad nights. But I've said this once, and I'll say this again. Every 60 to 90 days, you're going to notice such an improvement of yourself on stage.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to notice such an improvement of yourself on stage. Something's going to happen, and you're going to handle it correctly. And that, my friend, and I can tell you right now, because you're going to answer me, you could eat 20 mushrooms and not have the feeling you get when you get off stage and you realize as a comedian that you've gotten to the next level. For me, it was, I gotta say, guys, it was, Jesus, maybe November of 98. Let's just go with November of 98. I did a show in the Belly Room. And guys, and Lee, you've heard all my junkie stories.
Right.
I had coke in my pocket when I went in that stage that night in the Belly Room. Not only did I blow myself out of the water, but what I did that night, I also realized I did like an hour 35. And it was like 10 minutes I had done before. The rest was just from my heart and whatever. And I'll never forget that night giving that coke away because I couldn't get over what I had done on stage.
Oh, yeah. Dude, and I would imagine drugs and gambling might be similar, but like doing well in stand-up is like winning is better than winning in gambling, but like bombing in stand-up is worse than losing in gambling, at least for me. Like they're very similar to me.
But after 10 years, you'll realize that every bomb made you better. And remember, one of those bombs would have taken somebody down.
Oh, yeah.
They don't call them bombs because they're a good feeling.
Right.
But after a while, you just get used to them. You just start getting used to them and used to them and used to them. And one day something else happens. And man, that's why I tell people don't quit until the miracle happens. Don't give up on a miracle.
Right. No.
We all have a chance to hit a miracle, right? I mean, it's just any day we could bump into anything. But if we're not involved, we'll never get that miracle. That's what people never really fucking understand. Everybody wants to sit at home and make videos and think that, fucking the Bluebird's going to knock on their door with a fucking check. Don't work that way.
No.
Those bombings, they pay you a lot of money for those bombings later on in your career when you stick with it.
Okay. Because
when you stick. You all right over
Oh,
there?
no, I'm
Tarzan?
sorry. I thought you were continuing. I'm sorry.
Are you light on the edibles again tonight? I could tell.
No, I'm not light on the edibles.
Listen, I got these mushrooms, these African mushrooms are so strong that I even on the premises. I got these in a safe at my buddy's house because you have to keep them at a certain temperature, like cryotherapy, to keep the fucking enzymes awake or whatever the fuck it is in there. So you better drink a lot of water, cock liquor, because it's coming for you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm working on it. But like that was like you said, like the feeling you get like when like you do well. Because I've been doing okay. I've been doing pretty well this year, but the feeling when you get off stage and you know you could have handled the situation differently, it's like a bummer. It's like it really will bum you out. But like getting off stage and being like, oh, I handled that the way I was supposed to, like that's a new feeling.
Well, yeah. And Lee, listen, man, you and I both know the worst feeling. There's two worst feelings: is bombing and trying to realize what you did wrong, and shitting the bed in an audition and trying to realize what you did wrong. And they're like, thank you for coming. You don't want me to read again? No, it's okay. That was great. Thank you, Mr. Diaz, for coming. And you're like, they might call me back. And also you don't hear from them forever.
Never.
Never, but forever. But you think about what did I do? How did I break it down? And those are the things that build strength. It's like if I scrape your elbow against a wall. Eventually, every night, the scab's going to break and get tougher and tougher and tougher and tougher. And after 6 years of me banging your head off a wall, you won't have that fucking scab no more. You won't breathe. You won't bleed no more. You see what I'm saying?
I don't think I'll do a lot of things after 6 years of getting my head banged against the wall.
Well, whatever. You get what I'm trying to say to you.
Yeah, of course.
Sometimes bombing is, and listen, it's the truth. Bombing is so much way better than doing fantastic all the time. I took an immeasurable amount of bombs. I was like fucking Lebanon. I was taking bombs. I was taking bombs just for fucking Christ's sakes. Some weeks I was just taking bombs for Christ's sakes, dog. And I would sit there and go, like I told you how many times I cried. Dog, I don't cry about anything. I would cry about bombing and cry, not really about bombing, but how this was my last fucking hope in this world. Like I would sit there at night with that stupid newspaper open, the comedy JFL, whatever it was called, out of San Francisco. And I would write the clubs I wanted, and then I would start ripping the page like a child. You ever see Denzel Washington in Man on Fire when he got really drunk at night and he was playing with the gun and all that, and he would talk to himself? That was me. When I saw that, and in a drug addict type of way, that was me at night. Because I knew this was my only fucking hope out of that fucking dingy apartment. It was that's how I looked at it. That's how I looked at it. And after 95, I had a little bit more confidence. So I'm like, I could do this. But my goals weren't to, meet Joe Rogan. My goals were to just stay on the road and live like the catcher from Major League.
Yeah, that's the dream.
Like that was the dream. I didn't care about movies or TV. I just want to live in a hotel, eat, meet women, play the ukulele at night with sandals on, snort coke, and die on the road. I had nothing else going on. I had nothing on. You look at your mentality then. Now I look at, all those things I just said to you, like, fucking playing the banjo and hanging out with women and drinking tequila. I look at all that stuff like that stuff will kill me first. But back then, when you're 30,
it's exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah, what the fuck? And then eventually you meet somebody and they turn you on to this and you get turned on to this. Next thing you know, you compete in the Seattle comedy competition. And you're like, what the fuck am I doing? I was just at a bar 2 weeks ago cracking jokes and I came in third tonight. Okay.
It's the best part about it. It's like one of the few things, and there are people like I'm one of them who have like benefit from like, things to get shows they might not necessarily get, but like on a talent level, every comic starts it out at the same place. Like it's very even.
Very even. Very even. And there's people there's sleepers.
Mm-hmm.
So many sleeper cells. You're going to go to a town one time with Josh Wolf, and you're going to headline Wednesday night.
Okay.
Some club's going to call you one of these days and go, hey, man, don't say nothing. Somebody's coming in Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but they don't want to do the late shows. Do you mind headlining Wednesday, featuring for him Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then headlining the late shows?
Hell yeah.
And you're like, yeah, why not? And there was a point I was trying to make here. That Wednesday show, like, I don't even know what I was trying to say to you. I think those fucking hash edibles hit me already and shit. You know what I'm saying?
About how it's a level playing field.
Yeah, you're going down a fucking Wednesday night and you're headlining and you eat a bag of dicks. Now you're in there Thursday and you're fucking banging it out with one of the best headliners in the country that's come home to visit his fucking grandmother, and he just wants to do the early show and pick up some cash while he's there. And then that night you're headlining him. But I really forgot the point I was going to make. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. It happens. It happens to me all the time.
Yeah, but you didn't eat fucking 8,000 milligrams tonight.
No one does eat 8,000 milligrams.
I ate a bag of these Creighton gummies. It's THC, but he calls it that. It's not Creighton, that shit that people are dying of, the Chinese plant. This is the hash-infused edibles with THC. Not bad. I ate them yesterday. I was like, yeah, baby. I finally found something, but I had to eat the whole bag, which is 500 milligrams. So today I upped it to 600, and I ate 3 or 4 fucking ABXs. I got to get ready. You know what I'm saying?
How do you do that? I have no idea how that works. I just
do it. It's just another day. You know what I'm saying? It's just another day you got to get up and train. Some days you hit it hard. Dog, let me tell you something. You have no idea what I have been through the last week, because I don't want to bring you down on the phone.
Why?
Because I'm not that type of dude. So I've had this thing in my ear since God knows when. I went to 2 different doctors. Cream, the one lady looked at it. There's something in there. We're going to give you something. It'll come out. That went on for fucking 6 months. I'm sitting there waiting. So I ran out of cream, the whole thing. I just keep a Band-Aid on it to dry it out, to see when this thing's going to fall out. I think last Thursday I wake up. I go to kiss my daughter. She's like, Dad, there's something sticking out of your ear. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I call my wife. I go, take a look at this thing. And it was just like a whitehead that wasn't really a whitehead. So she disinfected the tweezers. When she pulled, guys, you thought I got shot.
Fuck.
You thought I got shot. I still remember being over a sink and the blood was dripping different parts of the fucking sink. It was unreal. It was a boil with a thing sticking out of it. And I mean, she pulled out what she could, and it was not good looking. But I mean, I ruined 2 shirts that day.
And just wouldn't stop bleeding?
Wouldn't stop bleeding. The sweatshirt and the t-shirt I had underneath.
And do you have to bring it? Do you have to go to the doctor? Is that what happened this week?
So I remade the subscription. I picked it up late Friday and I put it on there. Friday was doing better. Saturday was doing better. I put some mercurochrome on there, old school. And I dosed up the vitamin C so I wouldn't get an infection. And Sunday, it was killing me. So this morning I got up, but no, last night, before I went to bed, I go, honey, you got to look at this fucking thing. And she's like, Joey, we just got to take this to the hospital. I go, forget the hospital. Let's go to urgent care. So I went this morning. I got up this morning bright and early. I was like the third guy there. Holy shit. This morning they actually shot me with a needle in there.
No.
I haven't seen Jesus in a long time, but I saw him this morning. That's why I was a little discombobulated this morning. But I went at 8:45. I sat there for like 25 minutes. They called me in there. The lady looked at it, cleaned it, did a bunch of stuff. She goes, listen, there's a dermatologist up there. Let me get you in there. I said, all right. So 12:50, she got me in there. I left there, came home, did my morning stretch, did a video for YouTube, which I think they made it childproof because I smoked on it. I didn't show myself smoking. I just showed the smoke.
Oh, damn, yeah.
So then I caught a quick half hour at the boxing gym. I went down there. He laid it into me today. I was like fucking dead when I let that came. Shaved my monkey, showered, and went right back to the doctor at 12:50. She fucking took one look at it and she goes, all right, lay down. And she goes, what I'm going to do is put some cocaine on it, and I'm going to fucking shoot it, and then we're going to fucking scrape it and take out all that stuff. So she's going to send it in to see if it's skin cancer. But when she pricked it with the fucking needle, like, it was painful, but she had to take the needle out because the amount of blood that came her way.
Jesus.
It was fucking insane. She had to keep me there for like 30 minutes after that. It was insane. I got home. I went to pickled herring. I got myself a chicken noodle soup and an open turkey sandwich with mashed potatoes on the side for lunch. And I was home by 2:45, tip-top Magoo, ready to pick up my daughter, ready for when the bus dropped her off.
But why don't you? Because I mean, I don't feel like you can't tell me things, but like, why don't you tell people like that shit's going on?
Because what do you want me to put on Facebook and Twitter that my ears fucked up? Yeah.
No, not Facebook, but you can tell your friends.
Hold on, somebody died. Let me look up a picture from 1982 when I was a kid and he gave me an autograph. Let me post it up so everybody knows he was my buddy. You know.
You really don't post that stuff?
No.
It's so creepy when people do that.
It's a different world on Instagram. It's like shit we don't need to know. There's 1,000 things I want to know about you. That shit, I don't give a fuck. You want to show me your titties? Go ahead. This Facebook. Knock yourself out. But if you're going to tell me about your toe, that you're out of commission, say a prayer for my cousin. He jumped out of a helicopter. You know, what am I, a Swami? I can't help you.
But what about, have you seen when people post like pictures from the hospital room and they're like, send me some prayers or give me some thoughts? Why would you go to the hospital room and take out your phone to take a picture?
If I put a picture on Facebook, the caption's going to be, send me an Asian nurse with sticky hands. You know what I'm saying? I have an intravenous in my neck.
Oh, in your neck? Holy shit.
We got to get the good stuff. We ain't getting that Billy Goat stuff they give you from fucking, you know.
I would love to see you talk to a nurse and be like, I don't want the Billy Goat stuff. Do you talk to nurses like that?
I tell them the truth. Today I told her, listen, before you put that needle in my arm, I just want to tell you something. Because she took my blood pressure when I walked in there. And I'm like, listen, relax. I just cut off like people. You want to take my blood pressure? I told her, it's our first date. Give me 10 minutes. And then she put it on. She laughed. She goes, yeah. And then it went down to like fucking, listen, dog, I have a good time in my life. I go to this place to eat. It's dynamite. I'm not even going to blow up the spot. I love the food there. And I like going there when it's quiet. But it's so good from time to time, I got to go in there on a Saturday and bust out. But every Saturday I go there, talk to I have a little Mexican bartender that takes care of me. He's moving back to Acapulco. He's like a co-headliner. He's like a busboy / bartender. I got him on the small 20 program in there. But every time I go in there's a girl that's very attractive, young, you know, but very quiet. And the first 2 times I seen a bartender, I'm like, I don't know how that girl makes money.
Why?
She doesn't smile.
Oh yeah.
If she smiled, she would. So finally, I went there this weekend, and a buddy of mine goes in there to eat. The bartender from Osteria, Joe.
Okay.
My brother there to eat, and he comes in. And he goes, "Yeah, I'm off today. I came down. I always come down here on my day off." I'm like, "Oh fuck, the lunch special's great." And I go, "Joe, that girl never smiles." And he goes, "I know. It kills me too." And I look at her, and all of a sudden she comes back, and at the end I go to pay my check, and I go give him a glass of wine before I leave, and I'll pay for that cash. So when she went away to get it, because she was my waitress, she was my buddy's waitress. I'm with fucking Ricky Ricardo from Acapulco.
Right.
So when I say to her, "Watch," and she comes back, and she's got beautiful nails.
Okay.
Like nails with money. And I go, "Can I ask you a question?" She goes, "What?" I go, "Where do you get your nails done?" And she goes, "Perth Amboy, why do you ask?" I go, "Because when I go in transition, I want the best, baddest fucking nails there are." You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking of switching. And she started laughing, dog. And we, oh shit. She smiled.
You got it. I bet she'll love you.
Let me take a breather. Yeah, I tipped her. We had a good time. Let's take a breather and talk to you guys about DraftKings this weekend. Uh-oh. It's time for tricks, treats, and touchdowns. And the number one place to bet touchdowns is DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. They make it nice and easy. Even if you've never made a bet in your life before, try betting on something simple. Ready? Like a certain player scoring a touchdown. It's easy, it's fun, and it makes the game even more exciting. Listen, you know me, dog. When it comes to baseball, I'll pick a player. I'll pick Ohtani or Judge like 3 nights a week to hit a home run. You put the small $5 on it. It's a blast. You do the same with football. It's easy. Let's say you like the Eagles, all right? And you want to bet that dude that came from the Giants to the Eagles, Joaquin, I don't know, Barkley's his name. That's his name, yeah. Let's say you want to put in there's 180 yards. They'll give you a nice little piece for that. Let's say you want to bet that he scores 1 touchdown. There you go. And that's what DraftKings does. Start with somebody simple, your favorite team. Now, here's a reason for new customers to do a touchdown dance on their own. Bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets. Just like that, instantly. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Joey. That's code Joey, Joey, for new customers only to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only at DraftKings, where the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball.
All right, guys. Don't forget, DraftKings is alive and kicking. This is the time of the year. We got football, NBA starting. I mean, fuck. It's so much. It's so much that's coming at you. You got so many different choices to make $27.50 a night. You know what I'm saying?
And it's amazing how close they are.
I've lived my life. I'm very happy betting fucking $20, $10. Very happy.
I still get excited.
Because I only bet like $10 on a churro, and he's hitting home runs like they're fucking yum-yums on a Japanese street. Speaking of yum-yums, dog, let me tell you what's going on with Uncle Joey lately. So about a month ago, maybe about 6 weeks ago, I took my daughter to Wawa with her girlfriends for something after a softball game. And I noticed they had blow pops.
Okay.
Without the blow pop. Because sometimes you get the blow pop, and it's a good cherry one, but it's old, and you got to break a tooth to get to the fucking gum. I'm too old to be playing mystery with the lollipop and biting into that shit.
Right.
So I went to Wawa one day, and they got like a 10-pack of the gums that are inside all the flavors. So watermelon,
Really?
grape, strawberry. Yeah, I avoided the middleman. So I go in there every once a week and I buy 1 or 2. And then I eat a whole pack in the night and spit it out on the fucking road. But I love it. And then I started, the one night I went to get like 3 packs. And the guy goes, hey, man, you've been coming in here a lot for those things. I'm like, busted.
Oh, isn't that the worst?
So I had to start going to different Wawas to get my little The one retarded cook kept, are you Joey? Are you Joey? Are you Joey? He wouldn't stop. He wouldn't fucking stop the one down. Would Joey Diaz be in here buying bubble gum? He goes, no. Okay, then I'm not Joey Diaz. And I walked out.
How often are you getting gum? That's because it's the worst when they recognize you. I had that happen at Jack in the Box. It's the fucking worst.
And then they got right back to me because I had a tariff up there. If anybody sees Lee at a fast food restaurant, go to the reefer store and pick up fucking $10 worth of weed. So everybody was ratting me out.
People love to rat me out. Everyone else is snitches get stitches. Everyone loves to rat me out to Joey. People will rat me out for stuff I haven't done.
The funny thing was the day you put on an Arab disguise to go to Subway sandwiches.
I was hungry. I was hungry. It was a fucking dude. I had someone tell me recently. I had another comic accuse me of getting he's like, oh, last time I saw you, you were fucked up. I was like, oh yeah, really? And I was like, yeah, I was at this comedy club, like a comedy club I've never been to. People loved, and they always tag you in things. I can't tell you how often I get tagged in. Lee, you're really fucking up. Joey, look at it. Like that. Who else has to deal? Like, oh my god, Lee's really fun. I still get people saying you're a Jersey Mike's guy now. No Subway. I haven't been to Subway. I'm like paranoid to go to a Subway. It
is crazy how they don't leave. They still talking about their fucking stars of death.
Oh yeah.
That's been gone for 8 fucking years. The stars of death. It's so weird when they bite into something. It's like, you know what fucked me up last week?
What's that?
Number one, in today's world, you can't get in trouble. Okay? You cannot get in illegal trouble. You cannot be a high-profile person and get into any dilemma because the media, what's that expression? The judge, the executioner.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like the media doesn't give you a chance to breathe. Listen, we've known each other a long fucking time. You ever see Diddy? In Hollywood?
No, I've never seen him out.
Okay. You know what? That wasn't our world. You know what I'm saying? My world. And it's so funny how all of a sudden everybody's got a Diddy story.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's people that, like you and me, name a party we went to, Lee, like that we went to somewhere together. Do you remember any? We did.
The only party we went to was Gabe's Christmas party, which was awesome.
Okay. Gabe's Christmas party. So how long ago was that?
8 to 10 years ago, I would say. Somewhere 7 to 10 years ago.
It's 10 years ago. It's 24, even before that. It's got to be 11 years ago because the one year you went to see the fucking movie, 2013, went to see that movie. So that's like 2012. Now, what if that night we took a picture, me, you, Martin, and whatever, and, you know, Gabriel's our friend. We know him. We know the guys. But one of the guys got caught playing the bongos somewhere in Mexico with a 10-year-old. You know what I'm saying? And they found out he's got a farm, and he's cousins to the guy in Waco. Yeah, I'm just making an imaginary fucking scenario. And all of a sudden, they immediately got pictures. You know, they got people that were actually there for the parties, you know, Beyonce, whatever the fuck. And all of a sudden, after a week, they dig up our picture. Who else was there? And we're like, guys, Lee and if they knew, we drove down, we ate, we giggled, and we were home by like 11:30. Like, you know, and they raffled off a TV. They gave away $15,000 and they were playing poker. Do you remember that night?
Yeah.
And it's like, so now, because I was there, now I'm getting hate mail. You know, like now people looking at you differently. You know, they posted a picture of him and Howard Stern. I didn't see anything with Howard Stern. But then the media started talking about the people with their kids. And that's when I fucking blow the line.
What's that?
You know what, man? I don't see Diddy with kids. I see Diddy banging all these hot black chicks and these rappers and fucking, celebrities and shit, giving them yum pills and roofies and making them drink blood, whatever the fuck they do, because it's just something beyond. And then, so that pissed me off that the media is doing that. But the big thing about 90% of the people that are talking about this don't know the mental state of the people in Los Angeles and don't know the mental state of people trying to become famous.
No.
There's two types of people that go to LA. There's people that want to become famous. And there's just people that end up there like I did. It took me 20 years to get an agent that was worth it. You know what I'm saying? But in those 20 years, I forgot who the fuck I was. Okay? But we weren't that lucky, Lee. And you've witnessed it. You've seen what happens to people. I mean, we saw somebody get caught up, and I would tell you all the time, watch that person, watch that person. It was a no-brainer. You're an actor, comic, you're a comic. You don't belong there. You don't belong there. You don't belong there. I don't care what they tell you, this, that. You don't belong there because once you get there, you're going to realize you don't belong there, or you're going to be just a fucking hang around. Those guys in the rap videos or those guys in the rock videos in the back with the bottle. Right. That's what you want to do. But for some people, they're very happy with that. But before people start criticizing, they got to understand the mental state of men and women when they get around that.
Absolutely. I don't even know what it was like.
No, we both don't know. That's not our world. We had a fucking office that we paid $700 a month for, guy.
Right. Yeah.
Our world. We don't know nothing about that shit.
But what do you think? What? Because these people probably wouldn't have done a lot of that stuff wherever they were from. What do you think happens when they get around that stuff?
My biggest question has always been what makes a young woman go into a man's hotel room to read a script.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that when I send my daughter home to school, that's what I think about. What didn't they teach those girls that you don't go up there? You just don't go up there. There was just so many things that people never really looked at. And there was a lot of things with men. I could go on Shannon Sharp and tell Shannon a million fucking stories just of speculation that I've heard from the minute I got there that I never got myself caught into. I just looked at it for what it was, and that's what they do, and you know what? That's it. That's it. That was the best thing. But it's so sad that people don't know that world, but then again want to jump into it. You don't know the world of Jennifer Lopez. You don't know the world of Diddy. It's not a fucking life. It's a world. And what comes into it, Madonna, these fucking, these moguls, they're fucking, you don't know their world. You just think they are so, ooh, who shot that? That was tremendous.
You don't know their world.
That wasn't even a fart. That was my back stretching.
That was a world.
No. But people don't know their world and the people that are in their world and what they would do to be that person. And when you have that, you'll do anything.
Because all you want is to be famous?
That's it. I always came from the school that you had to get on stage to get famous. I see these comedians that are trying to strive, but they work more on what parties they get invited to and the fashion they get on and the bullshit galas they get invited to, because they just listen, if you're not at the Grammys, the Emmys, or the Oscars, look at me. I'm at the Lesbians Latino Alliance. Listen, there's 8 of us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's kind of weird. They make this big yuck. For some people, that fills their hole. For me, I'd rather be at the fucking store banging it out, fucking doing spots, snorting coke, and learning comedy in 3 different fucking rooms.
Oh, yeah.
That's what kills me about this. So I haven't spoken about it because everybody's talking about it. Everybody's making jokes. Now everybody was at a Diddy party. I've never seen nothing like this in my life.
People want to be at Diddy parties?
No, that now everybody was at a Diddy party.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm surprised people would admit to it now.
Everybody who fucking, was at a Diddy party.
I did get some good food last night though.
I bet I know what it is.
No, it wasn't.
Fuck out of me.
No, it was great. I went to this Italian place.
It was great
in the Upper East Side. It was called like San Mateo. Dude,
Okay.
I had like gnocchi for like one of the first times, and then they brought out prosciutto like hanging like it was just a really cool present. Like that's one of like the things I love about New York is these little restaurants. They're like, they're not everywhere, and they could do really cool. Like there was like an Italian family in there the whole time. There was a kid running around. One of the guys and this isn't this guy was just yelling, but he didn't seem angry. He was talking Italian or speaking Italian. But like it was a whole experience, and it was great. The fucking gnocchi was great.
Very nice. Very nice.
Awesome.
How many times you got to walk up and down those stairs to burn that fucking gnocchi?
Dude, you should have seen me carrying my suitcase up the 4 flights. That was a funny one.
I can just imagine.
That was a rough one.
Saturday was an adventure in my world also because I don't know what that is. My wife made a pot roast with noodles.
Don't blame the pot roast.
Ooh, it's tremendous.
Jesus.
Saturday, I've never been so scared in my life. I got flashbacks of being a kid, which lets you know how fearful I was when I was a child. So my daughter goes to my wife that she wants to try out for some fucking club team. Me and my wife look at each other like, what the fuck? All right, she tries out. We don't hear nothing for 2 weeks. Then we got a call. She made it. All right.
Oh, nice.
Practicing the whole thing. Saturday, we show up to a basketball game. It's a nice area. We walk in. It's, 7, 8 nice white little girls from fucking, whatever this is called. What do they call that?
The county?
Suburbia. And we look, and the whole team we're playing is fucking African American. The coach, the assistant coach, the cheerleaders, the whole fucking team. And I'm like, oh my God, my daughter got herself into a fucking whammy this time. And this is what I wanted. I wanted to see if she'd piss her pants or whatever. They lost 23 to like fucking 10.
Wow.
But you know what? She did really good. She scored.
Nice.
She found it. She forgot. Yeah, she has to transition to a forward from being a guard. So it was a tough transition. I took her to the courts Wednesday. She was off from school Thursday. I took her to the courts Thursday because I could tell she's getting taller. She ain't a guard no more. She's a fucking forward now. She's a brute. She's a fucking brute.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we went over there. She lost, but every bro, those sisters were quick and they were good and they were fucking princesses. They were all like very fucking sweet. I talked to the parents after the game. They were fucking dynamite. There was one little black girl who looked just like John Morant. She had fucking dreads, taking it to the hoop, Jack. Those little girls were vicious. It was just an enjoyable game to watch.
What did Mercy say after losing like that?
Not a thing. She got in the car with me. She put on the fucking music and, I asked her, I said, you did well. I go, you looked a little lost. She told me, and then her mom's going to take her either tomorrow to shoot some hoops. I don't know. It's going to rain tomorrow. It's going to rain tonight. Who the fuck knows anymore? I'm going over to, what do you got Wednesday night?
Wednesday of this week?
Yeah, no, next week. 2 weeks from fucking.
This week I have nothing on Wednesday night.
Wednesday, I'm going to go over to the dojo.
Oh, nice. I'll be there.
Then the following week, I'm doing a show with Paul Rizzi.
That's awesome.
Dojo. Tickets are on sale already, so hopefully you'll be in town to swing by on the 15th. Or pick a Wednesday. You can't come every Wednesday.
No, I'll do this week because next week I'll be in Boston all week. I'm actually doing the Laugh Boston with Jim Florentine on that week, the 17th. The 17th.
Look at you bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
Still out there. Yeah, so you're going to I was thinking about it the other day. I go, Lee did over 20 weeks of work.
Yeah.
If you really want to get good, you do 20 weeks. If you really, really, really want to get good, you do 35.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit 32, I think, and I definitely see a huge difference. But it's like that's why I'm so excited to be here in New York. I can just do so much.
And I'm excited because Thursday tickets go on sale for Park Casino, which you're on
That's
the
awesome.
bill. November 27th, 8 o'clock. Tomorrow I'll put it up, the link, and then Thursday you can get the tickets. I'm very excited, Lee, for the first time in a long time.
That's awesome.
Doing stupid things. I've been writing stupid things. I've been paying more attention. I've matured a lot. Like I understand what's happening now. I see the game a little better. I'm going to attack it from a different situation. And listen, I can retire whenever. 3 years, 10 years, I don't give a fuck. As long as I feel good, I'm good. In fact, after I fucking went to that before, I went and boxed for a half hour. They knocked the shit out of me today. And the guy told me, you did really good today. You lasted a lot longer. You're doing 4-minute rounds. And I'm like, you know what? It's not bad. Okay, I can live with that.
It's not bad at all. And like, do you get like pumped up still after like a good set or even a great set? Like, do you feel like do you have a lot of energy still
on stage?
Even after.
Well,
do you get pumped up?
I'm scared to get involved like off the bat in 2 shows in one night.
Right, that's a lot.
I'm very scared right now. I don't want to give the people. So I know I got one good one. You know what I'm saying? I got one good 45-minute spot that I can rock the house, give you energy, and learn, and that's what I'm looking to get. And we'll take it from there, one step at a time, Jack.
I love it.
Before the other, as long as you never go backwards, just keep going straight. Never go back, not even to get fucking impulse. You know what I'm saying? That's old school fucking Hector Lavoe.
I love it.
Me 3, cocksucker.
I'll just very quickly. I'm going to be with Josh Wolf at Wise Guys in Salt Lake City and Knitting Factory in Boise this weekend.
What is the Jewish holiday this week?
Yom Kippur.
What day is that on?
I believe it goes Friday to Saturday or Thursday to Friday.
Where are you going to be?
I'm going to be in Salt Lake City.
Look at you. That's a good place to be.
I'm excited to be at Wise Guys.
You won't get bombed there this weekend. That's a great club.
Yeah.
Say hello to the owner. He's a dear friend. I've known him for a long time.
Absolutely.
He's done great things in comedy, Keith.
I've heard.
Keith is my guy, man. I had to call Keith and tell him, Keith, let me come up there. I know they don't like dirty acts. And he goes, if you want to come, I don't think you'll sell any tickets. And then he realized there was a market for everybody up there. It wasn't all just politically correctness anymore. And he's doing great. He's got clubs in Vegas.
Yeah.
He's clubs in fucking Salt Lake. He's got like maybe 3 or 2 in Salt Lake and 2 in Vegas. So send him my love. Always a great comedy club owner and just a dynamite guy.
Oh, it's one of the ones I'm most excited for.
Yeah. But that's it, cocksucker. Hopefully I'll see you Wednesday night.
100%. Can't wait.
Get ready for those mushrooms. I'm going to take them out of the vault tomorrow. I'm going to call Skinny Louie now.
How much does Skinny Louie charge you?
Nothing. He's friends of mine.
Oh, that's nice that he put a safe in his house for you.
Did he what?
That he put a safe in his house for you.
No, he's got a safe in his house, you fuck.
Oh, okay.
A freezer type thing. You have to keep these at a certain temperature.
Jesus Christ, that can't be good.
All right, go do your thing. I love you guys.
Love you, buddy.
The check-in is brought to you by my favorite, BlueChew. Listen, fall is here. Flowers in the air. You're about to be spending a lot more time indoors. You better make sure that little staminki is working. BlueChew is here to make sure that you have a great time. BlueChew sends ED medication right to your door. Nobody knows nothing. BlueChew has the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost. So it's a no-brainer. The best part is it's all done online. No driving to the doctor's office to talk about your junk. No waiting in line forever at the pharmacy. Sign up at BlueChew.com for starters. You're going to talk to one of their medical providers, and if you're approved, you'll get a prescription within days. Listen to me. Nobody knows nothing, not even the mailman. He thinks he's delivering like a wedding invitation. He don't know nothing. Not even grandma will know. So do yourself a favor. It works. You keep like 2 of them around, local, put one in your sock, one in your wallet, and boof, all of a sudden, when you see love and you put your cape on, you could walk over with confidence. Blue Chew wants you to have confidence to perform at your best. So discover your options at BlueChew.com. We got a special deal for the Check-In listeners. You ready for this? You're going to get Blue Chew for free when you use code Diaz, D-I-A-Z at checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's it. BlueChew.com, promo code Diaz to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details. And thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Check-In.